This episode of Hidden in the Shadows is sponsored by the new podcast, Scary Time.
Welcome to the podcast. We talk about all the things that are hidden in the shadows. This is Isaac.
And this is Megan.
And happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Turkey Day.
I know you're listening to on Black Friday, but yeah, related Thanksgiving.
Yeah, ate a lot of good food today.
Yeah, Megan made some of the best macaroni and cheese I've ever had.
Ooh, my inner chefy is going nuts right now.
Yeah, that's a terrible terminology.
Sorry. I made a song before the podcast too about it.
Don't say it.
I might get stuck in people's. I have a little thing that I do where like I don't know why I make up random jingles, and yeah, okay.
And like I always, well, I don't say we're always gonna do it, but I guess we can start making a tradition. Weekly haunted update in our lives. Not much paranormal, but Megan did have a interesting dream.
Yeah, I had a weird dream. So, recently me and Isaac have talked about like possibly expanding our family and stuff. But our first son, I wasn't like the pregnancy was okay, but the labor was what kind of worries me because I lost a lot of blood, and it was rough. It was the labor part was kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I lost a lot of blood. I tore really bad, and it was just not fun. And so that makes me wonder: did I just have like a shitty doctor? Was it just like a shitty time, or what? What's going on? So, but the day before, I was kind of worried about it. I was thinking, well, I kind of have to go to the OBGYN and see what he says, and I'm getting a little bit nervous about that. Anyways, the next day I had a dream. And when I was thinking of that, I was actually in the shower thinking of it the day before. And cause you ponder life in the shower. Anyways, so I go in the shower and I'm standing there and these stones like fall out, right? 2 stones. Well, actually they look like lima beans. And then it turns into these...
Wait, fall out of you?
Yeah. I know it's awkward. It's a little TMI. Should probably put a disclaimer. So it was like these pale blue like stones. And don't ask me why, but I put them on like the ledge of the tub, right? And so I'm freaking out, like, what the hell is this? Right? Is this like I was freaking out, like I didn't know what it was. Was it a cyst? Was it an ovary? Like, I don't know what is going on. I mean, that's my dream head speaking, like, Anyways, so I was in the shower, and no more than like 5 minutes in the shower, this lady comes in dressed like a doctor, and she's very, very like sweet looking, like, but I'm over here like, what the F is going on? First of all, I'm like aware I'm in my shower at home. I know something's wrong with these stones, and there was 2 stones, and I lined them up for some reason, one in front of each other. And she comes in the she has her clothes on. She goes in the shower with her doctor uniform on, and she starts like, she takes her stethoscope and like listens to my stomach, right? And I'm like, what is this? Because like I've said before, I'm always very aware in my dreams. And I haven't been able to remember dreams for a long time. And this one I managed to remember. So anyways, so she goes, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. You're going to like, she was more, I'm still like, what the hell is going on? And she goes, you're going to have a baby girl. Like, I'm so excited for you. And it was like, she was almost angelic. And so I woke up after, like, the lady disappeared, and I woke up. And I didn't wake up. I got out of the shower, went into my room to change, and I'm still like, what the hell? And I keep saying, like, should I have taken those stones with me? I don't know. Right? So anyways, I wake up from the dream and I'm like, what is that? So I started doing some research because I've talked to people, even when I guest starred on Ghosty Girls, she was telling me that I really should start writing my dreams down. And so, I looked at like dream dictionaries to kind of figure out pregnancy dreams and stuff like that, but I just thought it was so weird. Like, we had just talked about, like, when we were going to expand our family and all that stuff and all of that. And one of my friends sent me this thing because I was telling her about the dream, and I was saying, like, this is so weird about, and she sent me this thing about angel light and pregnancies, and I can't remember like the actual term, but it had something to do with basically like the idea, if you believe that like kids are already in heaven and they pick their parents kind of thing, like the soul is already in heaven kind of, theory. And it's basically the connection between the mother and your future baby. And I'm like, because there was 2 stones and twins run very high in our family. And I just thought it was weird because like before, like if you were to ask me, I always say, like recently I would tell you, oh, I feel like I'm going to have a girl next. I've been saying that for the longest time. So I don't know. I don't know. You guys can, if this is going to be a premonition dream, but there is something very, very different about this dream that stood out. And that doctor lady, like, it's very prominent.
So you're saying a good chance we might have twin girls?
Yeah. He's worried because the whole like dating thing when they're older, you got 2 girls dating.
It's 2 times things I have to worry about at the same time.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know if that's like a premonition dream. Stay tuned. That may have been a premonition dream.
Find out next year.
Yeah. It wasn't like she was telling me right now. I feel like in the dream, the doctor was basically saying, like, because she was telling me stuff, and I was just like, what the hell is happening, right? And why are you in my shower? Like, I was very like, I just didn't understand what was going on, and like, I didn't even really like put the 2 stones together until I went back and I was telling my friend about like, oh yeah, there was 2 stones. And then I was like, wait a second, there was 2 stones. And the stone is supposed to mean like your future kid. Is there 2 future kids? Is there twins? And I put that together. It's kind of crazy though.
Yeah. Like,
if that really is true, because I mean, in the dream dictionary, pregnancy means like, I forgot what it meant. It's like, it's something in your life that's like, improving or something like that, like a rebirth in your life. So, I mean, that could also mean something too, but something was telling me, because there's a different feeling when I kind of get like a premonition dream, which isn't very often. And then a different dream when it's like, it means something deeper. It really doesn't mean anything at all. So, yeah, I don't know about that, guys. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Well, today's subject is all about hotbed ranches, including my own, and I guess haunted land. Because a ranch essentially is an area of land where people purchase and they own and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I guess the main 2, amongst others, including my own, is Stardust Ranch and Skinwalker Ranch.
Don't call it Skywalker Ranch like I did earlier. I accidentally said Skywalker, like when we did the first clip.
And my own. And trying to figure out why such areas of land are incredibly high active. I used to start with Skywalker. Now you got me saying it. Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
You know what? I forgot totally where it is.
Dude.
I know it's north.
Utah, because Stardust is Arizona, I believe.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I forgot the exact town, but it is in Utah.
Yeah. Skinwalker Ranch was notorious for alien sightings, mutilation of cattle, ghost, interdimensional creatures.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You name it. It got so bad that not paranormal, an alien enthusiast, a billionaire named, I forgot his first name, but his last name is Bigelow.
Bigelow?
Bigelow. I know. Everyone was it Deuce Bigelow from Mel Gigolo thing? But that he was doing his stuff long before the movie was even made. He purchased the land and he hired his own scientific team to investigate it. Now, the entire time they were there and investigating stuff, they visually caught nothing, but they saw things. Now, take it as you may, of the stories they told, true or not, who knows? But evidence of certain things happening can't be disputed. They had cameras on all different like high telephone poles and light poles all around the ranch to catch something. And the only thing they ever caught was something invisible moving the camera or destroying it.
Weird.
One of the weird things is that the scientists were at some point high up fence line thing, like a little man-made balcony, you would say, peering out, and they saw a orange ball of light in one section all of a sudden open up like a portal.
Ugh.
And crawled out of that portal was this humanoid creature thing, long claws and teeth, come out covering some kind of goo, like fall out of the portal hole. And when you can see through the portal, whatever was back there was red and orange. Whatever land or dimension it came from was orange. And it crawled out of that, fell into the ground, and scurried off into the woods.
Ew.
Yeah. One of the major things, because by the way, if you guys ever want to watch a documentary on Skinwalker Ranch, the documentary is by Jamie Bell, the same guy. If you watch anything on Netflix, he did the Lazarus, UFO, Bob Lazarus and the Flying Saucers or something. I forgot what it's called, but it's about the whistleblower with the UFOs and stuff like that.
Dang.
But yeah, he did this other documentary on Skinwalker Ranch again because of aliens and stuff like that. Him and George Knapp. It's pretty interesting. A lot of stuff they figured out. Remember, they're talking to the family, the last ones that owned it. I don't know if they still own it or they still live there. And then Mr. Bigelow, he owns the area. I forgot the actual story.
Mr. Bigelow.
But they said they had these prize bulls, 4 of them, that were their main breeding for the cattle that they bred to sell, for meat and stuff like that. And they were saying on a trip into town and a trip back that if they ever lost these bulls, that'd be the end of them. So they got back to the ranch and they were gone. They were missing. They searched the whole ranch, couldn't find them until they found them in a barn. That was way too small for them to get into them by themselves. And they were lined up perfectly, fit like almost like perfect, like the most accurate way you can fit them in there. Lined up, all 4 of them together. And they were in a daze. They weren't moving or anything until, the main guy, like the owner, he said, "Hey, they're in here." And they finally woke up and they're like, "What the hell's going on?" They're freaking out. So they had the Mr. Bigelow's scientific team come in and try to figure out like how to get in there, stuff like that. And they did any like kind of tests, and they found out the metal fence surrounding the area was magnetized.
Jeez.
Yeah. But yeah, the Skinwalker Ranch thing, that's covered in crap. The family says they had poltergeist stuff happen in their home.
Yeah.
The ones that lived there, that owned the ranch, and before they had Mr. Bigelow's team come in and stuff like that.
Have you actually ever seen, because they actually have it, it's very like disturbing, so anybody that goes and looks at it after I say, just be advised that it is kind of graphic, but like the cow mutilations is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like they actually, because I think like a couple blogs covered it and stuff like that, and people that like went there, but like the cow mutilations, like
I had this
scary.
calf mutilation. The farmer, you say owner, he was tagging newborn calf's ears, like one after another, the new ones that were born, and he tagged one and then let it go, and then the mother cow was running around panicking and stuff like that, and he goes, "What's going on?" And that one of the calves that he just recently tagged was missing. Then it showed up 7 minutes later. It didn't show up. Its skin showed up, and a skeleton of it with a tag on its ear of he just put on there. And it was no blood around this body. None. Not a drop. And it was skinned. It was carved up like surgical. Its leftovers was left behind.
Ew.
Yeah. 7 minutes. Jeez. And they think maybe it was taken and then put back. That's why there's no blood. Yeah. That's
crazy. Again, my thing about it, it's crazy that things can do this.
Well, I would say it's things. If it's aliens, they're, stuff like that. Teleportation technology, they're able to move something that fast. But funny enough, Skinwalker Ranch and the other one we're talking about, Stardust, have paranormal things happen, but they have a lot of alien sightings too.
Yeah.
Now, switching gears to Stardust Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Stardust Ranch Ghost Adventures actually investigated.
Yes.
That's why I figured I learned about it and stuff like that. And I did my own research behind it. Stardust Ranch had more paranormal based things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But also alien things. According to the owner of the house in the Stardust Ranch area,
mm-hmm.
he said he's killed over 40-something aliens.
What?
With a samurai sword.
Oh, jeez.
So, crazy? I don't know. Not crazy. Whatever. But he says when he kills them, when he slices them their head off or in half or something, they disintegrate. Hence why there's no bodies. Conveniently enough. Now... he said when he first bought the land,
mm-hmm.
Bought the house, some random dude walked on there carrying, it's like a rifle over
mm-hmm.
his shoulder. He says he was freaking out, like, what's this fucking random dude walking on my land with a goddamn rifle? And he had a main house, and there's a secondary house where he was walking to, right? And he thought it was a guest house.
Mm-hmm.
Guy walking to it, right? Sir, can I help you? He was like, oh, I'm here to keep the gray man away. It's like, what gray man? What are you talking about? I own it now. It's like, he says, well, the last guy hired me to make sure the gray man never came here. It's like, well, I don't care about that. I need you to go on. It's like, yeah, so you're going to take care of him, right? He goes, take care of who? It's like that. It's like, the guy walks off and goes, you'll see.
Ew,
and he leaves.
That sounds like something from like a movie.
Yeah. And then he just leaves, right? And then he said he wished he would have kept him because obviously now he's the one to fight him off because he said he had to fight off aliens who tried to abduct his wife numerous times. They busted into the house. They tried to take her away. And he could chops him in half or something. Oh
my gosh!
Right? These are his claims, whether true or not. I don't know. All I know is when Ghost Adventures was there, right? They did catch EVPs. They did catch a black mass that ran past the trailer of where they had, I guess, a setup. Right? They did catch a black mass off in the distance. Inside the house, they catch much, but like that. Alien-wise, not much and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nothing lights in the sky or anything like that. Now, I remember something. I don't know. I remember it was Skinwalker Ranch, or was another one entirely in its own, or another place that the guy Bigelow, Bob Bigelow. I don't remember his damn name. I gotta look it up.
You know, it'd be a cool name, what? Billy Bigelow. Or
sounds like a lawyer or a wrestler.
Chad Bigelow, Dennis Bigelow, Ethan Bigelow.
But I remember they
Frederick Bigelow.
Shut up.
Sorry.
I know they investigated somewhere that Mr. Bigelow owned. Somewhere north.
Yeah.
Somewhere it snowed. I don't know if it was Skinwalker Ranch or not, because it didn't look like the same area that documentary was done. This looked like a whole different area, like a cabin house and cabins.
Yeah.
And I think they were saying that it's a place where he had the alien group investigators or alien scientists or his scientific team come, because this also place was a hotbed for him. I want to think it's Skinwalker Ranch, but I can't remember.
Mm.
But they went out to the woods. Well, actually, there was no woods. The Ghost Adventures crew went out to an open area out in the wilderness and tried to catch something, but they did catch a ball of light in the distance.
Jeez. Well, have you seen that? I think I've shared it a couple of times on our Instagram. It's these people that I guess like camped out. I don't know if they were on Skinwalker Ranch or what. They were basically like, or if they were like right outside of it or something. But they were in their RV and they heard like, ah! It was like a weird, like, yelling. And it is like, when you hear it, like, you know, like how you see these videos and sometimes you say, they're fake. But with that video, like, I got chills from it.
You know something weird too? In the whole Skinwalker Ranch documentary thing, they never talked about skinwalkers. So I mean, like, how the hell did it even get that name? I mean, it's Utah, it's northern areas where Appalachian Mountains and near Canada, where skinwalkers would be.
I forgot the actual name of the tribe, but that used to be, it borders a reservation. I want to say it's the UT tribe, but I'm not sure. Or the Navajo put a curse on the UT land or something like that. I'm not 100% sure of the actual thing, but I know it borders a Native American reservation, and I think they were the ones to give them that name, to give it that name.
Yeah. Which,
because a lot of
Arizona, I don't know if Stardust Ranch had Native American ties or not.
It's possible Arizona is. There's definitely.
That gives me an idea, or at least a theory, is that how are Native Americans able to curse land at that level? Like, they have a connection to, it's on, like, known fact, but not known fact, but it's known within lore amongst Native Americans that they have a very high connection to the spiritual realm. Maybe they have ability to, let's say, open a portal, but open a connection to a specific area of land to make sure that land is available to the spirits.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's why some places have poltergeist activity, have hauntings, right? Have crazy crap happen to them, almost like tormenting them in a sense.
Yeah.
So that family that had all that crap happen to them, whether it was aliens or was it ghosts, did see it as a problem, a consistent problem.
Yeah.
At that ranch.
Could you imagine, like, you move into a new house, you think you're doing good, you got a ranch, and out.
But I guess I don't know. It's trying to understand. It's like, I don't know about Stardust Ranch. Skinwalker Ranch, yeah, that's it probably has Native American ties to it.
Yeah.
When it comes to curses, but they suspected alien stuff because of the weird, strange activity, plus the opening of portals and different like that. But it could have been spiritual in the sense of paranormal, because they said they did see something invisible knock a camera down.
Yeah.
And then the mutilations and stuff like that. That ties with alien abductions and stuff like that, when they abduct animals and they mutilate it and they bring it back. They take eyeballs out or something like that. Just weird stuff. It's almost like they're looking like, oh, these are... Which always bothered me, and maybe a question somebody who listens can answer. Why experiment on animals who've been here for eons, in a sense?
Yeah.
Unless they're specifically going after animals that humans have crossbred or bred to for different reasons.
Well, if it's cows, humans eat cows.
Yeah. Well, we eat more than just that meat.
Yeah, but maybe they're... Like, if they're trying to understand humans in general, maybe they're trying to understand what cows do to humans' bodies. Like, why do we eat it?
Would it be simple to do it? Well, they do abduct us.
Yeah.
So would it simply abduct us and find out why?
Ew, no, I don't want to be abducted. That's another terrifying thing. Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
Because, like, everything that you ever thought of the, like, world would be changed. Like, you know, like, when you think about aliens and you think that they exist, you kind of know about it, but, you know, you're not actually experiencing it. But when you actually experience it, it's mind-altering.
Yeah. Now, the stuff that happened to Stardust Ranch is alien-based, but it has a few poltergeist activities, i.e. alien stuff. Or, sorry, ghost stuff. Now, it made me think, is there some connections between ghosts and aliens? A lot of people want to think so. This feels like a discussion for aliens, too. Yeah,
which we are going to be doing, not that week that we actually cover, because next week we have another topic, which I'm excited to cover. And then the following Friday, we have Aliens Part 2, but we have a bonus episode that week, and that will kick off our... we're going to start doing one bonus episode a month.
Technically, we were supposed to already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were supposed to already kind of. We also talked about doing it possibly starting in January. But at the end of this episode, we'll talk more about it. But we have a really cool person that we're going to be interviewing for technically December's. And it coincides with Aliens Part 2.
Yeah. Guess what time it is?
Ad time. This episode of Hidden in the Shadows is sponsored by the new podcast, Scary Time. We are promoting a brand new podcast called Scary Time. This podcast brings you new creators every week while bringing you the scariest stories and conversations ever heard. Every week, an independent creator tells us about the paranormal, ghosts, monsters, hauntings, creepy places, enchanted objects, aliens, and more. And if one of the creators sparks your spooky interest, feel free to follow them on their podcast content page. I mean, if you dare. Listening to Scary Time lets you try out new creators, binge listen to all their shows until you find the one you love. Make sure to check out Scary Time on all major platforms and follow on social media. All social media links will be linked in our episode description as well as on our Instagram account. Tired of the same old scary stories by commercial creators? Give indie creators a try with Scary Time.
And check that out, you guys, if you get a chance.
Scary Time.
You can hear some of our stuff in there, too.
Yeah, we have an episode with them. Actually, we were like one of the first episodes like that premiered that week. Their first week out there, so...
Is Bleeding Bazaar in there, too?
Yeah, I think they were in the same week as us. Which is cool.
Because independent paranormal people.
Yeah, he really helps like independent paranormal people kind of have an extra platform to get their stuff out there. So, yeah.
Now, a infamous topic amongst us.
This is when I really wish we were like a video podcast because that face that you just made.
I was trying to get a piece of turkey. All right, back in my tooth.
Oh, that's...
Almost got it. All right. I'll get it later.
Someone, please send help.
Shut up. Something I get asked, well, I've only been really in a couple of interviews, but I get asked people when they already hear the story and they want to know about my ranch. Well, the ranch I grew up on.
Yeah.
Of why so much paranormal things happened. Yeah. And not just to me. Maybe I've been trying to figure that out for a while now. God damn, I loosened it up. Now it's bothering me.
Oh my God.
Wait.
Oh my God, they can literally hear you fishing around your mouth.
Got it.
Ew.
Leftovers.
God have mercy.
Make good food.
Oh, my chefy. I keep wanting to say it's, I'm just going to destroy that tagline because literally I keep trying to say.
Someone's going to want our shirt.
No, I keep trying to say inner chefy, but I keep saying inner shelfy. So it's like, it doesn't have the same impact because it sounds like I can't speak. So
now, I'll run through the greatest hits of things that have happened on my ranch, including seeing a white figure in the woods when I was a kid. Not technically a woods, open field. Mm-hmm. My friend seeing the same white figure in the field, not the same field, but in open field on the ranch. My friend Matt hearing a hoof stump next to the car and away from the car, next to the car, away from the car, next to the car, away from the car, and then a long nail scratch against the side of it.
And I can attest to, because I've been to that ranch a couple times. A couple times was like family gatherings with Isaac's family, so like I wasn't really like there by myself. But I remember one night, you parked at like, you weren't like fully in the ranch. You were like right at the start of the road that leads into the ranch. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And you had parked there because there was a way to access like where he lived, that little apartment type building thing. So, or extra rooms essentially is what it was. And so I said, thinking I was all cool, that I was just going to stay in the car. And funny enough, like I had sensitive ability. Obviously, I've always had sensitive abilities, but like I would feel energy and stuff like that even there. And like I was actually terrified. Like, do you remember me telling you like I hid under my jacket?
Because you were scared of the things I told you before.
No, you didn't really. I mean, you really didn't know because this was like kind of like at the beginning of part of us dating.
Yeah.
And so you really didn't tell me that many stories. You told me stuff happened, but like you didn't go in depth with the stories. You just said that a lot of creepy stuff had happened.
Yeah. Continue on the list. Where was I? Oh yeah, seeing the.
Real quick, I just remembered because was talking to someone through our DMs on Hidden in the Shadow, and I think I had made a connection. Talk about the one girl that you saw that was all black. Wasn't it in there?
I was about to do it.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to get that out there.
Seeing a girl in all black when a very small girl, I would say 10 or 11. She was young. Mm-hmm. But, still tall enough that, it's not like a little tiny toddler. All black. Her Victorian dress was black. Her skin was black. Her nails were black. Her hair was black. Everything was black. Bang on the table. Tell me to wake up, right? Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Boom. Slams on the table, right?
Jeez.
And I see my nightstand rattling after the bang, after I wake up, essentially. What connection are you talking about?
No, there was a couple people that had said that they seen something similar. I can't think off the top of my head like the actual description of what they were telling me, but
basically a detailed shadow figure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, because someone had said that they had a dream where there was like almost like a witch shadow figure at the door trying to come into the house. And which made me kind of think of, and I've heard other people say too, they've seen like almost like a witch shadow figure. And it kind of goes back to that one story that we covered in listener submission stories, where, remember the one that I had to put a disclaimer for because I didn't know if it was demonic or not, but I thought it was like a witch haunting. But again, it goes back to the like a witch shadow figure almost. And so I'm wondering if, like the Hat Man and stuff like that, if there's like a different witch shadow figure that comes around. But I think she only likes males. She only comes around to males. Like young, old, whatever.
Seeing a giant mass of something that's had hood feet walk past my window.
Ew.
And block out the light. What's going on? You're hearing someone knock on the door.
There's definitely some like energy.
You let me finish the list.
Sorry, jeez.
The light.
Yeah.
All right. Someone knock on the door. Open the door. Knock on the door. Open the door. No one there. That's just mine, and that's just a small list. My cousin Valerie seeing a old woman.
Oh yeah.
Clear as day at the foot of her bed, peeking up above the foot of the bed. And just staring at her.
And she wasn't like scary. She was just like normal.
It was an old woman just staring at her.
Oh, yeah,
old Hispanic woman.
And just
fucking just like not smiling or not angry, just a blank face just staring at her.
Yeah, if it's someone that's like, especially if it's residual.
I don't know anyone died over there where my Uncle Mario lives.
But you got to think the land, Isaac.
She was Hispanic though.
Yeah,
I mean, granted, Texas and stuff like that. I thought maybe it was someone that knew that family, like my uncle, my young.
I mean, that
Aunt
could
Yolanda.
be possible too.
Yeah. But she threw.
It can also be ancestral guides too.
Yeah, she threw her blanket over her and ran out of the room. She said when she threw the blanket over her, though, it left the impression of someone was underneath it.
Ew.
Then my Uncle Mario ran in, thinking someone broke in. No one's there. My dad seen a black mask in our house, down the hallway where me and my brother slept. But I mean, that happened over there where my Uncle Mario is. Now, scratch that. Forgot where it was. My dad seen that black mask over in our hallway where we slept as kids.
Yeah.
And him just talking out to maybe he was just dreaming or something like that. Then, I mean, the stuff I saw, the ranch stuff we heard of ranch, plus the pterodactyl sounding creature, whatever it was, and my father fired 6 shots in the area where it was, and then I heard it run away, sounding like it had big feet.
Oh my god!
Like you hear like its heel and its whole foot go slap, heel, slap, heel, slap, heel, slap, heel, slap, as it ran away.
Well, like that's what I think about. Like when you have like ranches and stuff like that. You know, like when you have a house, there's different energies that repeatedly go through. But normally with ranches and like country type of land, you don't have like so many people going in and out of the house. You know what I mean? Normally when someone acquires the land, it's normally generational, like family. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my uncle chasing the witch down the stairs.
Ew.
The bruja apparently turned into a giant chicken.
Oh my gosh.
And you hear the foot that...
Yeah.
Running
all
away.
of these stories are told in detail, by the way. If you go in My Ghost Stories.
And My Ghost Stories 2. And My Ghost Stories 3.
Yeah. So he tells all about it.
Yeah. But these are just like the greatest hits of what happened.
Greatest hits. God.
I just saw more different stories and stuff like that. I remember when I told about me and my brother seeing someone up in the stairwell. But to try to figure out why that area of land? Why that ranch? Why... in particularly my family or something like that, but I didn't have any hauntings happen to me when I lived in California. Mm-hmm. I had them all there.
Yeah.
So it tells me that it's not essentially me that brings them into fruition. It was that the place.
Yeah, the body of...
Now, I think I explained this a couple of times before. There's a tree standing right at the entranceway to my ranch. Big branches, but one specific branch comes out pretty far and straight. We're perfectly where you can hang something from it or hang someone.
Jeez.
There is a ring worn into that branch in a specific spot. And over time, of course, from ropes going up and down, up and down, up and down, off it burns essentially that ring into the tree. But the tree has grown over it, but that still indentation of where it was is still there. It looks like a big knot in that one spot of the tree. With like a perfect indentation of where a ring would be. That's in Texas. Small town of Texas. Small town of Texas has been around since the 1800s. And it's not too far-fetched to believe they probably performed some of their own justices in that town in the Wild West days. Or, racist acts and lynching people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's one conclusion to why it might be so haunted. Or at least infested with different things. Or a breeding ground or even a portal. Now, I remember speaking to a paranormal investigation team, and he gave me the idea, one of the guys on the team, gave me the idea of ley lines. Mm-hmm. Ley lines are connection lines that go across the entire planet that connect to different intersect at certain points. And sometimes when they intersect at certain points in the world, it's almost like a hotspot for paranormal stuff. Mm-hmm. Could there be an intersection on my ranch?
That's interesting.
I would have to look at where the ley lines are recorded to figure out if it's actually going through that area of land.
But it's kind of funny, too, that you mentioned the trees, because I remember, I don't know, I don't think it was on the interview with us, but the API Apparition Paranormal Investigations. I watched an interview with them. I think I was on an interview saying about, like who they are or whatever. It was like a local interview. And they had talked about the trees at Hammock State Park were bad. Like bad stuff happened associated with those trees. Remember me telling you about that? I always it's kind of funny because that trees can hold history, essentially. But
was that a stone tape theory?
Yes.
Or grains of wood can hold energy from past events. And
they said anything objects can hold it.
Well, haunted objects, but specifically about stone and wood can hold the heavy energies.
But the reason I say that is because my parents go there and they hike sometimes, especially during the summer months, and my dad we actually have some of the trees, thinking about it, on our Instagram. My dad was like, hey, I felt compelled to take these pictures and send them to you. I don't know why. But I thought you would find them interesting, and they were of these trees, and anything kind of
I know. Maybe you sent me a picture of one, a tree that looked like
Yeah.
evil, like it was burned and it was just black.
Well, no, they were saying because they took their picture right in front of like a bunch of trees, and they were saying that some of the people that are clairvoyant were like saying like they had to get away from the trees. And so I guess they did history on their, because I haven't actually done history on it, but I think they were saying, if I remember correctly, that like the trees specifically had history too. Like there was some stuff, which makes sense because, you know, like a lot of North Carolina settlers and stuff like that came here. In fact, I found out that this was actually like a pathway to go out west. Like there would be a lot of pioneers because apparently on base there is, I always talk about this website. I can't think of the website right now, but I will post it in our description. Like in this episode description, I'll put the link to it. But basically it's like a Craigslist, but take Craigslist like idea away. And it's basically on paranormal encounters in your city. And Camp Lejeune has one. And one of the things was that on base, they would consistently see like paranormal apparitions of pioneer people.
Like pioneer ghosts?
Yeah, like, you know, people in that era of clothing.
Yeah.
But they would see them like, I've never really, I don't have any military affiliation really, so I've never really been on base. But essentially it's like a separate city, you know? So, like, I guess one of their back roads or whatever, specifically, they see that. But, like, there's, like, surrounding towns around here that have even, like, pirate ghosts, apparently. Like, apparitions of pirates and stuff like that. So,
the Armages.
Yeah, so there's a lot of history, like Blackbeard even, because I think it's, like, Teach's Hole is haunted or something. And it's, like, off of Blackbeard. But
Queen Anne's Revenge is at the bottom of the sea, somewhere off the coast of North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, like there's a house, I think it's Beaufort. It's either Beaufort or Bath and North Carolina, and it's like it's close to here. It's like maybe 30 minutes from where we live. But apparently it's like the house that was originally Blackbeard's house, and like you can see his ghost cuz like I don't know if he killed, like he found his like woman, the lady that he was like with one of his shipmates, and I don't know if he killed him and her or just him, but you can hear her crying apparently at that house. It's like an inn now, I think, or someone owns it, or at one point it was an inn.
How did we start talking about that from when I was talking about my ranch?
Oh, because it started with the impressions and like the thing, and then I was talking about like what you see over here.
I like to backtrack tangents and find out how we got there.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting.
That sounded like Palpatine.
Oh my god.
Execute Order 66.
Oh my gosh, can you not?
For any Star Wars nerds out there, that did sound like Palpatine. Yes, do it.
Oh my god.
I came out of nowhere.
Okay.
I'll add to my impression list.
Oh my god.
Can I do a good mean Sean Connery?
Someone please help. Send help.
Well, one of the fun things when we ever get to go back to Texas, I'm going to do a Instagram Live.
At the ranch.
At the ranch. It's going to be pretty long, so I have to walk around it, and it's a good ever how many acre ranch. But 100 yards from the house I grew up in to my grandparents' house, and about another 200 yards from there to my uncle's house. Now, I don't really have to walk up to my uncle's house, because, well, nothing of happened to me happened there, so I can't really say, like, oh, that's where that stuff happened. So,
would you ever go to that wooded area line that you were talking about that you see?
What are you talking about?
Isn't there, like, a line of woods?
Most of the woods are actually, I can't, for someone who doesn't, never been there, it's hard to describe where it is. Because on my house, where I grew up in, the back of it, not a lot of woods, mostly open field. And then about a good 3-4 football fields of open field, then you get to woods. And then as you grow up to my uncle's house, which if you're standing on the front of my house on the porch looking straight, it goes up a road, dirt road, excuse me, and it goes up to my uncle's place. Uncle's place is engulfed in trees. Back around his house is all woods. It goes pretty far. How far? I don't know. I've never traveled that far. But I did have to track a deer with my uncle one time. And we probably walked a good 10 minutes into just woods. So it's a lot.
But you know what, though? I don't know what it is with that, like, section. Like,
but these trees aren't tall. They're at most
Yeah.
6.5 feet, if not 6.5, about
No.
7 to 8 feet, but not like humongous like trees here anyway.
I don't know what goes on in like the wooded areas around that area, because me and Isaac lived, I never lived in Blanco, but I lived in a like outskirt of San Antonio town called Spring Branch. It's kind of like bordered the little towns of like Spring Branch, Belle Verde, and it was like maybe
Spring Branch from Blanco, the town I grew up in, the town where this ranch is about 15 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we lived, and I wouldn't say we lived on a ranch. We lived in the middle of nowhere, but
Up a highway.
On a highway, but there was wooded area
Behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I remember, and like that house is where, too, with me, like a lot of stuff happened.
We chalk it up to probably Civil War happening there.
I don't know. Fighting.
Revolutionary War, Civil War most likely happened in that area of Texas.
Yeah.
How much? I don't know. But I know for sure revolutionary style battles happen in the areas of Blanco, Texas.
Well, the thing is, like, too, like, I don't think on your land per se, because your grandmother had that land for a long time.
Well, since the 50s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the land that we were at in Spring Branch, those woods, like, some dark ass shit went on in those woods. Like, I'm talking, like, I think, to put it to you this way, I actually had where I have a couple of friends that are mediums and are very, very good at what they do. They're very in tuned with their abilities. And I remember when I was like kind of looking through my abilities and kind of backtracking, like what my abilities do and like how I handled them, like going backwards and kind of seeing like the thoughts and stuff that I had, were they associated with ability or were they just like something I made up? And I always had a bad feeling about those woods. Like I used to say immediately it was satanic stuff, but you know, I never knew if it was just me playing like games in my head. Like, okay, Megan, you know, satanic stuff, really, you know? But I remember I went through and I showed all of my childhood houses to one of the mediums. And I said, I didn't tell him anything of my experiences. I just said, what do you sense? And that house in particular, they literally said there is some dark ass shit. Like, that was the actual term, dark ass shit. Like, he was saying he would not want to go near those woods. And they were our backyard. How perfect was that? Because that was the one time where I was home alone and those people were beating on the trailer. That was also where we found like the horse skulls, like at the entrance of the thing. And then that weird house. Do you remember that weird house? And then that weird cow that would randomly show up.
Well, that was some neighbor's cow that kept getting loose.
But we didn't have any neighbors.
The guy behind us. If you took a dirt road, his ranch was in that. Not the direct road. It was like his road was another connection. But if you walked and passed in that woods in a certain area, you ended up in his ranch. Remember we walked there one time?
Yeah, it was really weird though, because like that. And then there was that field. Do you remember that field with a bridge?
Yeah.
I see, like put it to you this way. There's this house that like. So, do you remember that house that was over there?
I thought it belonged to the guy who...
Like, I guess the guy that essentially owned the land, and then he, like, outsourced to somebody else. But, like, no, I used to have to literally, like, my family would always go and kind of, like, explore that area. Because they said, you know, we could walk over there because there was, like, a little valley and stuff. But I always got some strange vibes.
So, in conclusion, most of these other ranches, they'll probably do more, but those two we really wanted to touch on this episode, amongst my own. What I want to start finding, probably our future episode, is like haunted land or Native American haunted land.
Yeah, like cursed land.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Ooh,
better. Cursed land.
Ooh. Sounds like a good title. Next week's episode I'm excited about.
Which is
pretty much, I forgot the actual name of this like thing that happens, but basically abductions in like wooded areas. I mean, I'm not talking about true crime abductions. I'm talking about like strange phenomenon that they think is more on the supernatural side than like true crime.
I guess we can include people getting lost and disappearing around caves.
Yeah, like stuff like that. And like my sister was saying, I think I'm going to end up confusing the two stories and combining them into one. But like the headlights, there was like, was it kids? Kids that saw the headlights? Oh, the adults would see the headlights and they would disappear. Oh. So in the woods, like what looked like headlights, and then it would disappear, and then they would disappear. And then there was something with kids as well. So, oof.
So basically mysterious abduction cases.
And so, but not like true crime related.
Yeah.
Not like someone, you know, like abducts you and kills you in the woods.
It's people disappearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like disappearances in the woods that are based on supernatural beliefs.
Yeah.
And then the following week, might as well say, because we've mentioned it a few times, it's going to be Aliens Part 2. Also, we will have a bonus episode that week with one person that he basically wrote a book about going to South America and investigating some of the like alien sightings and stuff like that in South America. So it's going to be a good bonus episode. So these next couple of like episodes that are coming out are going to be good. So,
some other news. I have a TikTok now.
Oh, you have a TikTok? I don't even know about this. Oh yeah, I know you're on TikTok.
You got me on it. I'm on it, but I'm going to start doing videos.
Yeah.
Now these videos would be anywhere from thoughts I had on paranormal to random thoughts I have about, I don't know, anything and everything. Some music related, some pro wrestling related, but
oh my gosh,
just ramblings from this
TikToker.
Yeah, but yeah, if you guys want to follow me on the TikTok, it's at Isaac Octane.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I have a TikTok too, but really don't post anything. I know we have actually have a TikTok because I wanted to actually start doing like paranormal videos and stuff on there and getting on there because I feel like we can hit a lot of people that are involved, like that use the app to like watch, because I enjoy watching the paranormal videos that are there, like the weird stuff that, you know, theories and stuff like that about the paranormal. Yeah, because it's not just, TikTok is not just like random people dancing, even though it's filled with a lot of that. But
well, it depends on what you want to see. If you want to see that, or if you want to see funniness, or you want to see
cooking videos like what I have.
Yeah, or weirdos talk about different things.
Ew, okay, that, wacko.
Yeah, all right. As always, you can check us out on Instagram at Hidden in the Shadows Podcast.
Yep. Oh, we have stickers.
We have stickers?
Yeah.
We have stickers.
Coming through. They're not here yet. I know I already have some going out though, but like, if you're interested, we are doing a free like logo sticker. So if you're interested in wanting one for free, again, it's for free. For free.
First one's free.
Yes, first one's free.
Everybody gets one.
Oh my God. But yeah, so we're sending those out. So just hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, wherever, and say, hey, I like one of your stickers.
All right. Were you Southern Belle or something? Yeah. I would declare I do like one of them stickers. I tell you that. Also check out our Twitter at Hidden in the Shaw 6.
Yep.
Wish I could change that damn name.
Oh my gosh. Hidden in the Shaw.
The Shaw 6.
Okay. Now that was strange.
As always, we'll catch your weirdos in the next one.
Yes.